We're some content invest, talk about investing, finance, and professional for today's edit terms only. The investment talk today would be Ethereum TTH. First, I want to say happy Sunday, River. Have a great weekend so far. Respect to recording time of 8:38 a.m. on Eastern time. Ethereum coin trading $3,330, down about 2.5% so far. Respect to overall crypto market is relatively red again. With respect to the relatively sizable news coming from the ECB president, Christine Lagarde, on her issuance, on basically her speech and her depictions, calling it a suspicious warning over Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, BNB, XRP, Solana, and Dogecoin after the recent huge price explosion that we've seen across the whole crypto market. Right? This is something we have been experiencing so far. Just quantitatively, for Ethereum specifically, we've surged up from the $1,700 all the way to the $4,000. And once we hit that $4,000 mark, where, per our technical analysis, we knew that we were extremely overbought. And immediately after that, from that, across the whole crypto market sold off, right? With that mega red candle that corresponds with the entire crypto market, right? Also, on top of the fact, some of the altcoin has been raising some suspicious activities, right? Per my article, on my video article yesterday, talking about some altcoin, the 6 specific ones, right, have surged to be above 5,000% year to date, right? So these activities can be, quite interesting to see, but Christine Lagarde has, used more of a negative tones or vocabulary to describe these crypto assets activities, calling it highly speculative, suspicious, and even fraudulent activities, right? So with that, the fact that she is the European Central Bank's president, comparable to Jerome Powell, she is a person of power. And with her depictions and verbiage, subsequently drove the crypto market to sell off across the board from there. So with respect to another news from New York Post this morning, 10 hours ago, talk about still young crypto industry could grow stronger if, and they say, quote, if SEC allow it to thrive going forward. So as we have heard historically, I think about a month ago, right, Gary Gensler has crashed the market basically for that specific day. I think Bitcoin and Ethereum was down about 6% respectively that day. It wouldn't be not like a crash, but more like a correction, driving some obviously fear mongering among investors. When Gary Gensler, who's the president of the Securities Exchange Commission, calling crypto assets class as a fraudulent industry, scam, and just malicious activities, people use this as a form of money laundering, human trafficking, even like something outrageous like that with lack of evidentiary support. But whenever you hear someone that is obviously a public figure with obviously some status and power that can influence the market, and it was a detrimental day that day, right? And also on top of the fact that the Feds and the SEC, and obviously the European nations as well are stepping up slowly, right, with the compliance regulatory structure that they're implementing, right? Just to talk about domestically, in the US with respect to the crypto bill that Don Beyer is issuing, and the 57 pages that he has listed out objectively, more like a manual checklist, like a pre-flight checklist if you're a pilot. I've taken some flying lessons before. The list is like very comprehensive. So it's like a comprehensive checklist on what to do, what not to do, what are the step-by-steps, if you may. And also with respect to the infrastructure revisions, right, that with respect to the president has passed, right? And also with respect to Janet Yellen, right, her stablecoin initialization that she basically, got together with a lot of the financial regulators, I would say about 2 months ago, to talk about stable coins, what are the step-by-steps going forward on how they're going to be, putting some restrictions or regulatory dynamics around crypto assets going forward, right? So a lot of volatility. This is something that's expected. It seems like though volatility is coming earlier than expected, right? We were expecting this to start happening on Monday, but Sunday is technically the beginning of the week, so I guess that's really the case, ahead of the FOMC meeting on the 22nd, 23rd that we'll be hearing soon. So with respect to the Ethereum, so right now the signal is definitely still bearish. We are still leaning downward, crossing down. On the MACD front, RSI is still at the 4750 out of the scale of 70. So it is a good sign that we're depleting. We ideally like to buy at the 3150. So, wait a little bit. I think we could potentially get there, knowing the fact that we do not have any signals of crossing back up anytime soon at the moment. So I think again, right, stay within the frame of reference 3,150, 3,000, which is the logical level to buy at. But I would why not 3,150, knowing the fact that the platform is building, slowly. 2,750 would be the level that I would love at. 2,450 would be a level I would just absolutely, probably sell something, a kidney, a liver. I'm kidding. Maybe some equity holding that I have to buy at this level. And Dogecoin, again, 20 cents would be the comparable level that we want to be buying at, because we are just lingering on by public investors, not really sustainable. Cardano, again, we do have a relatively large gap that needs to be filled. That needs to go down to the $1.85, because again, we're like holding off the ledge right now, and this is not a good sign, because this is like kind of like a head and shoulder type of way, and this is a very negative sign that we're seeing right now. So $1.87, $1.45, $1.3, but I'll probably buy at the yellow levels, to be honest with you, because I'm more just a risk averse person in terms of my risk tolerance. Solana is told you, this is no, I mean that's mean. I don't mean I told you. This is something that the technicals is saying, that we were basically trying to linger on based on the public investors, and we are selling off because of obviously the negative regulatory news that we're hearing right from the CEB earlier today. So selling off from there, and with respect to the signals, we are crossing downwards. We have no signs of reversing anytime soon, knowing the fact that we formed a negative apex as well. RSI is still on the scale of 58 out of 70, so something we have to be cautious about. That ideally 144 would be next level, which we got there recently, and ideally going to 111, and then below 100. I think going below 100 is very likely. XRP down about 2.39%. Again, linger on, comparable to like Dogecoin and Cardano. I think we have a large gap to be filled, but I think $1 is not a bad level, because we do have a lot of consolidation areas. But ideally to go down to be, if we break the $1 again, 88, 78, 69, right? So with respect to Ethereum, I would still stay within the frame of reference, and I would just look at the cheat sheet again to stay within the sanity frames, right? Anxiety denial stage is where we at right now, and seeing these type of fluctuations, especially the 22nd, 23rd with the FOMC meeting, as we hear more about the Fed's activities around crypto. Also, with respect to the economical outcome for the US as well on the tapering plan going forward, how that's going to be triangulating with the asset purchasing activity going forward is something we have to be cautious about, right? We do not know. I'm not a wizard that can predict that. I don't think anybody can. So something we have to be cautious about, no matter what happens. We are in the business of risk mitigation, not predicting numbers, right? And that's why we have the frames of logical reference to look at when to enter. 3,000, 2,750, 2,450. But if you bought in currently, right? Let's just say you bought at the 3,700. Just hold it for a long term, right? Wait for another dip coming, and just keep dollar cost averaging to build up your position from here, because long term wise, we'll get to these levels from here, right? In the next 12 months, 9,800, 3.3 times, 20% corporate adoption. That's not a bad return from here, right? So hopefully this is helpful. I hope you guys have a great rest of the Sunday, and feel free to give me a shout if you have any questions, and stay tuned for us to come up. Take care. Bye.